What is up, guys? It is John, and I am back again with another MLB The Show 22 tier list. This time we are doing the relief pitchers. So the last time I did starting pitchers, and it was 20 minutes long, and I realized nobody wants to sit through that. So I'm going to try to do this one a little faster. And of course, if you just want to see the end of the video, skip to the end, and I'll have the tier list done, and I will sort of quickly explain. So what I want to start off with is I'm going to try to just do the lefties first. And I want to do the two best lefties and two best righties in S tier, and then sort of like my ideal bullpen in A, but we'll see how it goes. So to start off, Chapman, I'm going to put him in the face of the franchise in A tier. Without outlier, Chapman is good, but I mean, he's hittable is the big thing. He's really hittable this year. Without that outlier, which I'm sure he's going to get a great card with outlier, and he's going to be unhittable. With that said, I'm going to put Chapman's live series in B. If he gets live series, if his live series gets outlier, I can see this switching, just because outlier is so much important for Chapman. This might be the hot take of the day, but I'm putting Josh Hader in S tier. Hader's delivery has always been something that I can fool hitters with his two-seam slider, circle change, and fastball. Even though previous years he just had a normal changeup. You can sequence that two-seam well on the inside half to righties and sliders to the back foot, or throwing the up and away fastball with circle change to keep them off balance. And I found that his windup has been more effective than Chapman, because these two are very similar pitchers now, but Chapman doesn't have outlier. He throws 1 or 2 mile per hour more, not 5. So I'm going to put Hader in S tier. And then Franco, for right now, I'm going to put Franco in S tier also because of the screwball slider. Good hits and Ks per 9. He's just an overall really, really good card. Last year he was great. This year he's also great. Haven't used him yet, but I've faced him and he's still the same pitcher. Going on that, Wagner is going to go A tier. Another good pitcher that I believe is missing outlier. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm like 99% sure he doesn't have outlier. So same thing with Chapman. These three cards are very similar. And then Andrew Miller and Jose Alvarado, the two other lefties. I'm going to put Miller in B tier. Miller is just, Miller and Hader are very similar cards, but I just find more success with Hader. You might find more success with Miller, and you want to switch that, or you want to do one of these, or you want to do one of these. Like lefty relievers is all about preference. I just find more use with Hader than Miller, but you really can't go wrong with any of these 6 right now for early in the year lefties. And then going on that, Alvarado, I'm going to say is actually better than Wagner just because of outlier. Early game outlier, you can really bank on it. He has a good wipeout slider, but again, all of these are subjective, and all of these can go throughout the list. So beginning with the righties, Joe Nathan, he has a cutter, fastball, slider, 12-6, and changeup. Doesn't really throw hard, so on that basis, I have him in my bullpen, but I'm going to put him in B tier. Not a bad card, not bad at all, but definitely to be desired with it. Liam Hendricks, I'm going to go D tier, just fastball, slider, curveball. He does not have the stuff to be successful in this game. He can get by against worse players, but if you get somebody who can hit the fastball, slider, curveball, and is a very readable windup, you are not going to have a good time with Hendricks. Emmanuel Clase, so the outlier cutter, I'm going to put in A tier. Very good card. He can perform at all levels, definitely can fool hitters, just good card. Tom Hanky, I'm going to put in C tier. 3 pitches, he's just never performed for me, even with better stats. At this time of the year, he's not bad, but I would rather have a Joe Nathan than a Tom Hanky in my bullpen right now. Carrie Wood, so the USA map rewards. He's going to be between B and C. I'm going to put him in B with Joe Nathan. Not a bad card. He can sort of get people with that slurve cutter combo. Throws hard, controls to not really desired. He's sort of a little bit wild, but overall good pitcher for this time. And if you have him, I would use him. Devin Williams, S tier, screwball, cutter, fastball, changeup. He has it all. He can keep hitters off balance with speed and movement. He's very attainable. Devin Williams, for right now, is going to be my one of two best right-handed relievers in the game. Lee Smith, I'm going to put in. He's going to be either A or B tier. Lee Smith cards have just always been well for me. This is my personal bias, but the fastball, cutter, slider, forkball, decent speed differentials between the cutter, fastball, and slider. Forkball, I think, is the same speed as the slider or cutter, one of the two. I'm gonna put him in. I'm gonna put him in B and drop Joe Nathan to C. Because I think Joe Nathan and Carrie Wood are better than Joe Nathan, and Liam is definitely worse. Adavio, I'm going to put in A tier. Very good pitch mix, very deceptive windup. Good hits and Ks per 9, walks per 9 are awful, but if you're using pinpoint, you can make do and get done with it. The Kenley NL West reward is S tier. If they had his normal pitch mix, he would be by far the best pitcher in the game, and everybody would use him year round. But they didn't want to give out his best card right away, which is understandable, but still, with his hits and Ks per 9, pitch mix, I'm going to put him S tier. But disclaimer, Kenley gives up bombs. He's a bomb magnet for me, and I don't know about him, but even if I don't hang pitches, they get hit a mile. So already, you already can see what my theoretical bullpen would be. I would probably run 3 lefties and throw a guy like Blake Trinan in and only run 3 lefties. For this list, I'm going to just have the 4 here, and I'm going to have 5 here. Houston Street, B tier. Good pitcher, good per 9s. I think he's in the new choice pack, so he should be pretty cheap. Let me just take a peek at his pitches. Sinker, slider, changeup, cutter. He has the pitch mix. To be honest, he might take Class A spot, but I'd rather have the velocity. Definitely a good pitcher. If you can pick him up, definitely get him. Rob Dibble. I'm going to put him B tier. I obviously use Dibble at times in my bullpen, but his control is trouble for me at times. Might not be a problem for you. If you can control him, I would definitely say have him over Class A because of outlier fastball. I love the heat. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to move Class A down behind Houston Street. Or in front of Houston Street. I'm going to move Dibble to A tier. Keep Adavio. Rafael Iglesias, I'm going to put in B tier in front of Lee Smith. And for that, I'm going to also move Carrie Wood down to C. Deceptive windup. Sinker, he's a good pitcher. A lot of the top players I see running him in ranked on Twitch, but I know as the year goes on, he's going to go down just because he's going to get outshadowed by other people. Pretty much he bangs on that glitchy windup. Without that, he would probably be a C tier pitcher. But for now, I'll put him in B. Brian Wilson, I'm going to put in B tier, or C tier, in front of Tom Hanky. Not a bad pitcher, very generic stuff. Can't really complain about him. He is what he is. Mo, C tier. He'll get a better card, but for now, he's just a C tier pitcher. Kimbrel F, fastball, curveball, crush it. Simple enough. Blake Trinan, A tier. Good hits and Ks per 9. Sinker, cutter, slider, changeup. He has all the pitches you would want. Good windup, easy to control. Overall, very good card. O'Day, I believe the tipping glitch is back, so I'm gonna put him after tier for now. So if you didn't know, Darren O'Day fingers, you can see before he puts them in his glove. So he pretty much tips his pitches, so you always know what's coming. Last year they fixed that, and I heard that it is back. So if it is back, F tier, I would avoid at all costs. But if it's fixed again, I'd put him in B tier, probably above Rafael. Pretty much submarine, sinker, cutter, or not cutter, sinker, slider, fastball, and changeup guy. He's really tough to pick up, and if you sequence it well with your pitches, he is very, very tough to pick up. So I would put him in B tier if he's not tipping his pitches. Again, if he's tipping his pitches, F tier, do not use. But if he is not tipping it, I'm going to put him in B tier. Kirby Yates, F tier, also fastball slider change. He's very flat, actually, that's disrespect to Craig Kimbrell. I'm going to put him in D tier. Craig Kimbrell is just bad. I just would not use Craig Kimbrell in any situation. He's just a home run magnet. But Kirby Yates, as a gold card or live series, he's really not that bad. But he's just outclassed by these other guys. So, quickly to review, Hader and Franco are my S tier lefty relievers, but literally any of these 5 or 6 you could interchange. It's all personal preference. I think if the live series gets outlier, that moves the face of franchise down. Hader and Miller are pretty much the same pitchers, and I love Franco's pitch mix. Williams and Kenley, what can I say? They're the 2 best right-hand pitchers in the game. Dibble has outlier, cutter, slider, and you have no idea what's coming between the fastball and the cutter. Adavio, great pitch mix, just bad control. Trinan, dark horse, not even dark horse, he's just a great pitcher. Clase could easily be moved up. Street, O'Day, if he didn't have the pitch tipping problem. And then the rest of the guys in C and D and F. Overall, I would say everybody in C tier and above is usable. I think these 3 you should avoid, even probably these 2. Actually, these 3. Brian Wilson and below, probably avoid. But above that, I think it's preference. It's really just what you feel and who you pitch best with. If you're controlling a pitcher and you're able to dot up people, use them. And if you're if I say Dibble is better than Clase, but whenever you pitch with Dibble, you're throwing it down the middle, and Clase, you're dotting the corners, then Clase is obviously the better pitcher for you. But yeah, that is the relief pitcher tier list. 13 minutes, I think I did pretty good on this one. Tomorrow on Monday, I'll try to get out the catchers. Again, if you have any comments or if you agree, disagree with any of my rankings, I'd love to hear it. I would love to talk about the game. So leave a comment below with your instructions, and thank you for watching, and have a good one.